Hi, all. Welcome to One Pitch Catch. Actually, Ganesh, when you messaged me yesterday saying let's record today, I think we knew that the test would be over, but I guess neither of us decided, expected this to be the result. Like South Africa winning by 30 runs and India bad, not even getting to 100 for a target of 124. So it's pretty bizarre, but here we are. What did you think about what happened?
Of course, when I messaged you yesterday, I thought we'd be talking about an Indian win, probably chasing about 100. Given the way they were yesterday, Jaga, they were 93 for
Yeah,
7.
97, right?
93 for 7 when the play ended on day two. I think, I mean, the story of being pathetic at home tracks seems to be never ending with India, Jaga. See, to be very honest, in the last 5 6 years, England and Australia have come and troubled us in with their not so great spinners. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, Nathan Lyon
Nathan
is an
Lyon is an exception.
exception. Apart from him, we've been majorly troubled by good spinners, not so good spinners, one who don't
Kuhneman,
who don't
Hartley.
who don't even play in test matches outside once the team goes back from India. Ajaz Patel picked a 10-wicket haul with us.
Oh,
I mean, 10 for in an innings. Next game, he was dropped.
yeah.
So these kind of things have been happening one-off games. But again, after that, what happens is New Zealand showed that it's not an one-off thing. They can be beaten every single time. And then just now, South Africa has also done it. South Africa, I mean,
Yeah.
exactly like we spoke. South Africa, New Zealand went to Sri Lanka and lost and came back, came to India and won 3-0. Here also, South Africa went to Pakistan. I mean, though they didn't
Yeah.
lose, they lost the first game and then managed to win the second one. And then they've come back and now beaten India. I don't think, I mean, kind of kicking out Virat, Rohit, and Ashwin could be the only points in Gambhir's coaching CV, I think. What more in white ball cricket? He
Yeah.
cannot
Nothing
rest
has
on his
happened.
white ball laurels for long. We make the mistake of picking players based on IPL performance for test. We cannot do that mistake for in selecting our coach also.
We've already made that mistake. Like, I don't see why you can't have separate coaches for test matches and white ball cricket. Why not, right? I mean, clearly, either the coach or the overall coaching strategy itself, nothing seems to be there in terms of how you approach these situations, right? We put out something on Instagram shortly after the test was over. This is the third time India are losing while you're chasing like a 150 odd target. Maybe it's 150 to 200 range target in the last year. It's the third time out of four.
Not
The
even
fourth one
this.
was West Indies a couple of weeks ago, or maybe
This
a
was
month ago when it.
this was not even a 150 target, Jaga.
Yeah, exactly. This is less than 125 technically.
I mean, this reminded me of that Murli Karthik match in Mumbai, where we
Ah,
skittled Australia for the similar score.
correct. Yeah, I
Mm.
think they were chasing 104 and we got them for 90 or something like that.
93, I think the same 93, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
I think what we should look forward to is the BCCI should ensure that teams do not get to visit other subcontinental teams before coming to India. I think that's the only thing that they should use their powers and warn Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, saying if some team is coming here, you better not give them practice. That's the
Exact.
only thing that we can do because this team, this by itself, I don't think it's capable of winning in India on such pitches. These pitches, I think we already spoke about it. They play into the hands of the opposition. Their their inferior spinners get the boost when they bowl on these wickets. We've seen something similar happen in other countries where the pace bowlers get an advantage because of the sporting wickets that get prepared in South Africa, Australia, or New Zealand, or even England before baseball days, right? So it's the same, the reverse thing that's happening here. Instead, if we go for normal Indian batting pitches where on days one and two, it's fairly flat. You have to do a lot of running to get the ball from the boundary. Then day three onwards, it starts deteriorating. Day five, it's impossible to bat. That at least you can set things up. Now, right from day one, it becomes like very spin friendly conditions. In fact, this is a pretty bizarre match. 57 for Nolas in 10 overs. South Africa at the start, and they're 159 all out. The pitch definitely did deteriorate a lot quicker than it perhaps should have.
I mean, I think everybody, most of the commentators are also surprised looking at the wicket on the first day morning. But nobody expected it to deteriorate so fast, and the match was over by in 2.5 days. I mean, you can always hide behind a lot of excuses, blame the curator. You can say Gill's injury. I mean, no, chasing 124. I don't think any excuse is acceptable, Jaga.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, what is the point of having so many batters? I mean, we cannot depend on Gill to score a 124. There are
correct.
and also Yashasvi Jaiswal has to be reprimanded by somebody, because for all the big scores, the huge 180, 200 that he's got, I see a lot of times he seems to have thrown away his wickets with not so responsible shots. I mean, he thinks his role is to give a 10 ball 12 or a 10 ball 20. No, that's not the way you play in Test cricket. That's we have different formats for that. Yashasvi
Yeah,
Jaiswal, for all the talent and especially the big scores that he's capable of scoring, I see from England there has been a lot of irresponsible dismissals right at the top of the order. In today's chase, if Rahul and Jaiswal had batted a solidly 30-40 no loss, no,
yeah,
that would have pushed South Africa
correct.
down.
Yeah,
After 30-40 no loss, then you have 80 runs, which is there is
yeah, yeah.
nothing to go. Even the batsman could have
That
been
also
easy.
we don't know. Given the state of the Indian batting, it's still a bit of an
No, but
iffy
it would have,
task.
I mean, definitely a 30,
Yeah,
40 no loss would have helped, Jaga. I mean, see,
correct.
again,
Yeah,
they didn't open with Harmer and Keshav
yeah,
Maharaj. They use Jansen very well.
yeah,
So that is something that we missed in the morning session, I feel. We
yeah,
should have bowled Siraj and Bumrah to start with, which we didn't
yeah,
happen. So we let a 93 for 7 go to
correct. Yeah,
153. Say, imagine if it was just 120, then we would have had to chase 90.
correct. Yeah, that's
Uh, so,
completely different.
so there is a lot of, I don't know what Gambhir is doing. There seems to be, as a layman, as a fan, as a watcher, you tend to see so many things sitting in the dressing room as the coach. I don't know. I mean, this is not the first time. We can excuse if it's the first time, one odd day. We
Exactly.
did
Yes.
these mistakes in England also, Jaga. England,
Australia
though
also.
Australia also, and though we bask in the glory of 2-2 draw in England. No, it is not because of not lack of mistakes. We still made mistakes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
because of the batting wickets and the baseball
Correct,
obsession for
correct.
England. All those things played into our hands, and we got the 2-2 draw. And even there, we missed a very small chase. We could have won the series
Yes,
3-1. But
correct.
I
Yeah,
think this Gambhir's team does not deserve to win. If they had won 3-1, no, you can't hold them anywhere. So that I think
yeah,
this this is getting to unacceptable levels. Not chasing 124 is unacceptable by any standards, however bad the wicket was. Because 2 hours ago, the Bavuma and the tail, the last three
yeah.
batsmen,
Exactly.
batted out a session almost. Batted
Yeah,
out a
yeah.
session.
Definitely.
So this is unacceptable, and I mean, Gambhir has to be questioned. This cannot go on like this. I feel Gambhir is getting away with his white ball credentials. No, it cannot.
And I don't see a plan or a strategy, right? I mean, in some of these matches, you change the batting order around, you give certain instructions. Maybe Dhruv Jurel had some instructions to try and speed things up, but he got out when
And
pretty
in
bad
fact,
time, obviously.
Jurel was sent there only because Gill was not there. If
That's
Gill had
true.
been
Yeah.
there, they would not have changed it, Jaga.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a forced change. Jurel was not any
That's true. So
thinking,
it was not even a
looking.
tactical change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not a strategical move. I feel it was lack of Gill's injury made they didn't have anybody to push a right hander there, so they
Yeah.
pushed Jurel there. Um,
Yeah. So,
and
so I mean, what I did find is that if you take over the last, say, almost 5 years from 2021 onwards, and you looked at teams that had to chase small targets, India has only won like 29% of the time at home, whereas you have other teams. South Africa are doing pretty well. 75% of the time they are winning targets they're chasing down targets at home. England is 57%. Australia is 50%. India's in the middle to lower rung, along with the likes of Bangladesh and New Zealand and West Indies, which is like single digit. So it doesn't look good. I mean, I think the overall there has to be some explanation around what happened and why this keeps happening. Like you said, right? It's just a repeat occurrence under this regime, especially right from the New Zealand series. I mean, you can brush off the New Zealand series they were well prepared, they were better prepared. Guess what? All teams are going to be better prepared when they come now. Like it's probably maybe winning in India is not that difficult anymore.
Of course, it's not the final frontier, as Steve was said once famously. It is, I think it's become very easy to beat. I mean, see, all teams have this problem of the players going to these T20 leagues, following the white ball game and all those things. The red ball game is suffering overall, that we could see. But I think, I mean, India has the talent. You cannot, again, one more excuse that they cannot hide is team behind transition. No, a team in
Oh,
transition
no,
is
no.
not, absolutely not. See the number of tests everybody has played and the scores that they've got.
No,
No,
you only
absolutely
said
not.
it. We are not a young team. We are a gun team, right? You only said that. So
Yes.
still live by it. So
So
you stop the whole transition conversation then.
transition conversation cannot have. I don't know. I have not read anyone, but I'm just assuming these guys could go and hide behind these excuses, Chiga. The
Yeah,
only good thing to come out of this test for me personally was Washington Sundar be batting at number
yeah,
three, because we in this channel have told
yeah.
long
We
before that
said it.
Washington Sundar should be India's number three at tests ever since. I mean, we didn't have Gill moved out of that position to four, so I
Huh.
think we spoke about it then, because Sai
I think we spoke
Sudarshan
about it in the context of a top order batsman who can bowl.
bowl
Probably
exactly.
that context.
But now Washington Sundar gets to bat at number three twice in the test and no bowling to him, because I mean
Street cricket rules.
they say no, Gambhir is a street cricketer like fighter, so street cricket rules. No, you get to bat early, so you don't bowl. See, in the last New Zealand series, though first test he was not picked, the next two tests he was the only bowler who looked like taking wickets and took a lot of wickets. He took more than 20 wickets in 2 games.
Yeah,
And now in this wicket, he was not given a ball. Why? Because right-hander is batting. So what is this? Oh, no left-handers. No, that doesn't work. He picked up a lot of right-handers also in the New Zealand test.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
And I
he's
somehow this matchup mentality is coming in from T20 into Test.
yes.
It doesn't matter for the most part in
No,
Test.
it doesn't matter. 10 years ago, Jaga, 10 years ago, nobody looked at how left arm spinners, who were they bowling to, off spinners, who were they bowling to. I mean, Shane Warne picked a lot of left handers. Ashwin Lyon has
Yeah,
picked a lot of right handers. So these things, the T20, yes, exactly like you say, this matchup is a disease that has moved on from T20 to at the test level. It is a disease.
yeah. Anyway, so I guess what do we need to do? Look at next. The only positive side is that 2 extra days of break before the next test starts at Guwahati. I think it's on the
Hopefully,
18th. No,
Gill, we don't
20th or
know if
something like that.
Gill gets fit or
We
not.
don't know if Gill will play. Guwahati is the first time any team is going to play a test there. So it's
Okay,
very much you can almost call it an away game. They don't
okay.
have any idea about what it's going to be like. It's the east among the easternmost part of the country. The conditions are going to be very different. I think. I mean, sure, you have played some T20 games. I think recently there was an ODI there as well.
In
But for tests, nobody knows.
in fact, for
How
lack
does
of
a 9 o'clock start impact?
in fact, the early sunset, sunrise and early sunset, no, there. In fact, the tea is going to be taken first there.
Yeah, yeah,
I think they're going to play
correct.
11,
Yeah,
9 to 11 is the first session, and 11 to 11:20 is going to be tea,
yeah,
and then 1:20 to 2 is going to be lunch. I mean, it's more
yeah,
or
yeah.
less like a day and night game where they take the
Correct. Yeah.
20-minute break first and then the 40-minute break later.
Right.
It
Yeah.
makes sense. You don't have to follow it like the English conditions who
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
started the game. So let's see. Like you said, it's going to be an away game for our Indian
Yeah.
players also.
Yeah. Anyway,
But
so
away
I
games
mean
are
that
okay for us. The way we perform away
home
is
is a
far
problem.
far better than home.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's just a two-match series. You've lost the first one. There's going to be so much pressure on the second to win the second one to draw the series. Then you're also looking at WTC points. When I last looked, India was like number 4 or something like that in the table. So it can only get better. Yeah, it could get worse also, but let's hope it doesn't get to that stage.
Let's see if South Africa can do a New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, especially when if Gill is not playing, then that obviously creates a hole from a batting perspective. Then you bring in Devdutt Padikkal or do you bring in Sai Sudarshan, neither of whom are going to be any sort of
In fact,
replacement also.
in fact, Rabada was not playing this game.
Oh, yeah, that's
Rabada,
also there. Yes.
Rabada was not playing this game. Keshav Maharaj was not at his best.
Yes,
He
that's
did never. I never saw him bowl in the rhythm that he used to bowl or the way he bowled even in Pakistan. Okay, so
yeah.
that all those things come into place. So let's see what happens
And
in
the
the
thing is, with South Africa's batting, you had somebody like Keshav Maharaj coming in at 11.
yes.
That gives you an idea about how much of batting depth they are looking at.
Yeah, we spoke about it, right? And even in Pakistan,
Yeah,
Kagiso batted at number 11 in one of the tests and
correct. Yeah,
got
yeah.
50s plus runs. So this is this is going to be very interesting, the Guwahati game. So I think India cannot afford to lose the Guwahati game if they are harboring any thoughts of playing the WDC final again this time.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a
Hmm.
pretty much a shock result. I don't think anybody in the team would have expected it on day one or even day two. So obviously, poor strategy, poor execution has a huge part to play. Let's hope the team figures out ways to turn things around in the next 3, 4 days time frame. Other than that, nothing much else. So we'll call it a wrap. Please do leave your comments. What did you think about the series so far, the test? And I mean, you can't blame the curator, the pitch, and all those things, right? Ultimately, you don't chase 124 with the batting lineup that you have with KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rishabh
Rishabh Pant.
Pant. Yeah, you don't chase, and you have three all-rounders, right? You have Washington, Jadeja, and Akshar, and you still can't get to that. Then, yeah. Anyway, that's about it. So until next time, bye.
Bye bye.